Hello, everyone. I hope you guys can see me. It's a little dark on my end. But hello, everyone. My name is Bidjamson Darius. I'm an ambassador at a point at Norcross, and today we're going to talk about some holiday tips. I would say health tips. Primarily, I got one, two, three, four, five things that we can talk about that I feel like I've experienced that we can or you guys can reduce inflammation in your stomach. So if you guys know what that means, so if you don't, so inflammation for me, I've had inflammation in my stomach due to me sitting down too long, fat collecting, especially if I'm working from home and I'm COVID. I'm home most of the time, so I've been eating and sitting and eating and sitting. So I haven't really been going to the gym as much as I was, especially before. So, and that's usually the reason why a lot of things happen, especially dietary reasons where, because you're not moving, you always sitting still. You're not burning any calories. Everything's just being I guess, stored. You get certain things. Definitely inflammation is one of them. I started to get that, probably about 2-3 years ago, and it just manifests into and probably something worse. But I noticed that the more I work out, the worse it gets. But anyway, I noticed that there's certain food I would eat and it would get me inflamed. When I say inflamed, that means that my stomach would hurt. Maybe I wouldn't be able to use the bathroom, cramping, just maybe food that would just irritate my digestive system. So primarily the reason why, from what I've learned, the reason why we get inflammation is because there's an imbalance of bacteria, good and bad bacteria in our intestines. So if there's not a balance, then there's gonna be a problem within your stomach. I don't know the full detail of it. I know I've experienced it, so I'm gonna just go by what I've experienced. So it's not, I don't know what it's called. It's an imbalance of bacteria in the stomach. So if you are experiencing that, if you are eating and you feel discomfort or you feel bloated, which is another form of inflammation, see your doctor. See what is the situation. It could be something minor. It could be something you fix. With my case, it was something where it was just I didn't have enough good bacteria in my stomach to battle the bad, so to speak. So therefore, there was like an inflammation. So my stomach I was just bloated, and I would spend almost half the day without eating and still feel full. Or if I would eat something and I would feel full. So I had to change that. But I also noticed that me being active, which means going to the gym, running some time, it reduced the inflammation. So I guess it would help. So again, if you are experiencing that, maybe you should see a doctor. I know my doctor gave me some kind of pill to balance my GI system with the bacteria, and it helped a lot. But I noticed that if I'm not working out, if I'm sitting down and I'm not being active, I'm not going to the gym for a while, it start reacting up, right? Because I'm not moving. So especially with the age, the older you are, your metabolism slows down. You're not burning as much calories because you're not moving and you just stand still. That tends to happen. So you collect a lot. So you get inflammation. You get some people have constipations. Because you're not moving around, the system is not moving. Your digestive system is not moving, so you feel backed up. Or if you poop, it's not much at all. Pebbles, but again, this is just all types. I'm not saying I'm experiencing those. I'm just saying those are kinds of symptoms that you need to look into if you are going through it. So make sure that if you are going through it, again, you see your doctor. Don't be neglectful about seeing your doctor. It could be something minor that you can look into and fix it. But if you don't fix it, it's gonna be a problem for you later on. It can manifest as something that's a whole lot worse. But I've experienced it. It's not fun. Again, sporadically at times I would experience it. So I try to be more active. If you are home and working from home, or you're not really moving like I do, if you're not going to the gym as much as you should, I would recommend change your eating habits. I say that because there are certain food that you eat, certain things that you drink. I'm gonna go through that with you guys that will inflame your stomach because there's an imbalance in your GI system, digestive system. So I went through it. It's not fun. I remember one day I would go to work, eat something in the morning, and I would come back home like 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 5, 6 o'clock, and I wouldn't feel full. I know I should eat because I know it's been a while that I haven't eaten, but because it's inflamed, I wouldn't eat. I didn't really have an appetite. So until I found out what's the reason, or until I found a solution to it, or what works, I start looking into it. So whatever, if you are sitting down too much, if you are working from home, if you are at home most of the time, again, those things tend to collect. You get belly fat. You drink sugar, a lot of sugar that you drink. It's something I'm going to go through it. There are stuff that you eat, consuming, drinking, sitting down. All that stuff is just collecting and is on your stomach. So make sure you find some kind of ways to combat that. So the 5 things I have for you guys, I'm not gonna take too long for you guys. The 5 things I have for you guys today that you might have to look out for, that's gonna increase your inflammation in your stomach, or cause you to have inflammation. The very first one is what I spoke just a few seconds ago, was sugar. Sugar. When I say sugar, I mean like from soda, sugar from stuff that you consume, like eating cake, something sweet. Excuse me. So consuming a lot of sugar, and sugar could come in all types of form. You may think it doesn't affect you as much, will give you maybe a boost of energy. Sometimes we say we need it, but it comes in candy, it comes cake, it comes in like maybe a miniature cake, it comes in almost all types of form. Talking about like chocolate bars. But for most of us, it's not just what we eat; it's what you drink, right? You got soda, you got those juices that we're not supposed to be drinking. I'm gonna go through that again as well. That sits, they get into our system and sits, and the sugar collects. Sugar burns, but if you're not moving, it just collects as fat. I believe so. I'm not 100%, but that's why I believe what's happen. So if you don't move, it collects that fat, especially in the midsection. For me, that's one of the. I can go to the gym and I work out. My midsection, I don't know about anybody else. My midsection is the hardest part to get rid of because it's the biggest area to get that collects a lot of fat. So, so sugar is very dangerous. It comes in many forms. It comes in like stuff that you eat, some stuff you drink. So just be careful of the stuff that you consume, especially the sugar. Sugar is it's bad for you. It's bad for you. But again, most of these things I'm going to say is mostly in moderation. Like you don't want to consume these things daily and every day and all the time. And that's gonna cause you. It's gonna make it worse for you. So I would recommend, if you're gonna have it, if you're gonna do it in moderation. Don't do it every day. Maybe once a week or once a month or once every 2 weeks. Something whereas your body is not just like it becomes a craving, it becomes a need, and it becomes a problem. So alcohol is definitely one. So majority of stuff that I'm saying right now have to or surround itself about sugar, because almost everything conforms into sugar into your body, glucose. So those are the things that I'm gonna go into. So the other thing is, you may not even think about it, it's processed meat. Processed meat is like sausages, hot dogs, deli slices. Those things are just like processed meat. They're not 100% beef, because they got chopped up and then they got compressed into a solid meat, that's not the original form. So, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. There's a lot of preservative that goes into it. There's a lot of like salt that goes into it. So that can cause inflammation because this stuff doesn't belong in your body. The stuff that they put into the meat, the processed meat, to preserve it or to make it look a certain way, to make it taste a certain way, or appear a certain way. Like I said before, those things cannot adapt to your body. If not, they can actually knock out the good bacteria in your stomach, your stomach lining or your intestines, so you feel inflamed. Or you can eat like maybe a spoon of food and you feel full, or maybe you can drink something and you feel like, I don't know, there's different types of things. So those are the 2 things so far. So sugar and processed meat. I know some people, like, especially when I was young, I love like deli meat. You have deli sandwiches, especially. But to have these things in moderation. I'm not saying not to have these things at all. You do your best to cut it out your system, but to modify it whenever you eat it. You don't want to eat a sandwich every day, processed meat every day, because now you're talking about bread, and you're talking about the cheese, and you're talking about, I guess, the mayo if you put in it. Then you got then you got the meat. So all that, none of these things are good for you. None of them. Again, there's a lot of salt in the bread. Bread turns into sugar as well. So a lot of salt in the bread, a lot of salt in the mayo if you want. Cheese, definitely. There's a lot of salt. Then you got the meat itself that's preserved and contain a lot of salt. So again, all these things they're not good for you, and this stuff can and cause inflammation into your stomach. Again, it's just knocking out the good bacteria, and so now the bad bacteria is overdoing it, and then that causes you inflammation. You're not processing your food fast enough. You're not moving. You're not processing your food because one, you don't have the bacteria, but also you're not moving, which help burns the calories. So the third thing I would have to say was vegetable oil. So I know sometimes we see things in the store that says vegetable oil, canola oil. We think that's the best. It's good for us. Majority of the these things that says corn oil or anything like that, it says might be good for you. It's actually not, because from the original state of the vegetable that they extracted from has been diluted, or they take it out and put processed stuff in there. And by the time you get your food or your oil, it's not something that it doesn't break down that easily. So it gets worse. I'm not referring to, there are certain oil that you can consume with moderation again. Primarily like olive oil, those things, because it extracts oil, it's easier. Avocado oil is not bad as well, but I'm talking about these. But even if you're eating those, you're drinking those, I wouldn't consume it raw. I would put in a salad, cook with it. But vegetable oil, corn oil, all those kind of other oils I would say out there, does not contain any vegetables at all. None. It really doesn't. So do your research, look into it, look at the bottle, the ingredients to see what it is. I usually say, someone told me that if you want to know what your product, what you're consuming is made out of, look at the ingredients. Whatever is the first thing that's on the ingredients is what is the base. So if you're looking for, let's say myself, I'm looking for a formula for my son. I'm looking at the back, and the first thing it says water, which is, I'm not looking for something in the water. It says water and everything else afterwards, and then afterwards it says maybe you have milk. So I do the opposite. So I'll look at any product, especially baby milk, that says milk first and then anything afterwards. That means that the first ingredients is milk, not water, not hydrogenated oil, any of those things. They're not that. So you just look into it. So if you're gonna look at let's say you're buying bread, and the first thing you see is just like some processed stuff, or some F29 whatever, that's not something you need to consume. But if it says like wheat, if it says like these things, so that's the first ingredient. So you don't want to mess up yourself. Again, that could throw your body off and send you to a spiral that you don't want to be in. Next one, which is 4, is fruit juice. It has no fiber in it. It's mostly sugar. Fruit juice. Out of us, whenever I know I'm no better myself. Whenever I buy juice, I try to get juice that's like 100% juice. But those things are usually either expensive or they're expensive, or sometimes it may not be the best, or it's not what you want, or it just doesn't taste as great. But again, I think it's a mind frame. But fruit juice, again, it contains no fiber in it. It's almost fructose syrup, and it's mostly it contains sugar. You can look at the ingredients to tell you how much sugar it contains. I know it usually says 5% juice, it's 15% juice, or 30% juice. Again, I mean, in comparison to if the bottle is out of 100%, 30%, I mean, that's 70% of the rest of it is just like what? Water. Mix of all kinds of ingredients so it could taste good. So if you're gonna do it, just go all out. Go for 100% juice. Walters, I was pretty good at that. Okay, 100% juice is better for your body anyway. With the one that says no added sugar, which is definitely good. So that would help you a long way. So if that's the case, if you want to consume juice, do it from your house. I do fruit juice. I do. We have instead of buying smoothies, we actually make our own over here. So we have pineapple, we have mango, we have strawberries, and we use it with what is it? We use coconut water to as a base. If we wanted to get thicker, we put almond milk. So that's the difference. So or you can just eat it raw. Eat your raw fruits. Your banana, your apple, your pineapple. Some people may think it's too much work. I don't know. I'm just shooting out. But it's actually better for you to actually eat the fruit raw before you actually, instead of actually getting it processed. So if you want some juice, make your juice at home. You can blend it, strain it, and you have your own juice. The only thing is that the shelf life might be shorter, but that's what it's supposed to be. That's why it should happen, because you're not putting anything else. Because at first, my wife and I used to do our own almond milk, which is from scratch. Like we soaked the almond overnight, and then we put a little vanilla extract in there, put a little salt, and put I think maybe something else like salt and some vanilla extract and some other stuff, basic stuff, and then you let it sit, mix it up, and then you have your almond milk. Only difference is, again, it's not processed, so these expiration dates are quicker. But yeah, so eat the fruits raw, get your own fruits, make your own juice from home. So therefore, you don't have to worry about buying juice that contains only like 5% juice. Again, the rest is what? That's what I usually say. If it's 5% juice, then the rest is what? 5% juice. I mean, 95% of the rest of it is God knows what. So the last thing I have for you is, again, moderation. The last one I have for you guys is excessive alcohol drinking. So for those of you that like to drink hard liquor, wine, whatever, again, if you can't cut it out your system, do it in moderation. I say maybe once a week, every 2 weeks, once a month, whatever it is. If you feel like you can't do it, cut it down from, if it's 5 days a week, cut it down to like maybe 3 days a week. Or maybe don't buy the bottle, bring the bottle to your house. You go out to go get it, or like maybe go at a bar, which will make you work and make you have to spend money, which most people are not going to want to. So you will cut down on it. But again, alcohol, especially during the holiday season, a lot of people drink alcohol. A lot of people consume alcohol. But just be careful about how much you consume, because again, it trickles down to sugar. I know it's the first thing I had on the list, but that's pretty much what almost everything condensed and confined and break down to, just like glucose. So avoid drinking too much alcohol during the holiday. If you're going to drink fruit juice, make your own fruit. Eat the fruit raw instead of actually going over there and buying certain things. Vegetable oils, be careful about the vegetable oils, because not all of them are good. I stick to olive oil and avocado oil. Those are pretty good for you, good for your system. It won't throw your balance off. Processed meat is horrible for you. Honestly, it's really horrible for you. So I'm talking about sliced turkeys and sliced meat, sausages and hot dogs and all that stuff. Again, those things are bad for you, but I'm not telling you to cut it out your system completely. I'm just telling you to eat it in moderation. And these things are going to help you in the long run, and maybe make you live longer and reduce the future production of cancer, especially with oil. Certain oil that you eat, a certain processed food that you eat, it will collect into your body and cause into some kind of form of cancer. So take care of yourself, guys. Take care of yourself. I hope you guys learned something from it. That was pretty much what I got today, about taking care of yourself, about make sure that you look into the food that you're eating, make sure you look into the drinks that you're having. So you're not only taking care of yourself, you keep taking care of those that's around you. So make sure you are always aware of what you are consuming. So that's the things that I have for you guys today. Inflammation food during the holiday, eating safe during the holiday. Don't overeat, don't overconsume, don't overdrink. Just moderation. I have a little bit of alcohol. I have a little bit of meat. If I'm going to have some sugar, it's going to be moderation. Maybe since I have alcohol, I won't have any cookies and pie or whatever it is. So if I'm going to cook, I'm going to cook with olive oil. Something that's going to actually benefit you in the long run. But again, my name is Bidjamson Darius. I am an ambassador at the Point at Norcross, and today we talked about food that's inflammation, that's inflaming you. Inflammation, no food. I think that's what it is. Food that causes you inflammation, pretty much. So if you are feeling that and you are going through that, make sure you contact your doctor. Make sure you look into taking care of yourself, guys. So that's what I have for you guys today. I hope that you enjoy. I hope you learn. I hope that I helped you along the way. Take care. Have a good weekend. Bye.